Hello friend, do you like getting cool loot in Terraria? Well, I hope you do, because today we'll be doing an experiment on getting some cool loot. If you know me, I absolutely adore my NPCs. I love them so much that I just enjoy giving them nice warm baths, trauma therapy, anxiety treatment, and thalassophobia. To be fair, I do give some of them nice little houses. You love your house, don't you? You arrogant little prick. That's why today we'll be investigating the loot you can get from some of your NPCs. In particular, how many NPCs we need to kill before we get the special secret loot drop from them. I know it all boils down to probability, and that the more independent experiments we do, the closer we get to the true value, which is probably what was coded into the game. But who cares about math? I don't. Let's see how lucky and how long a normal, I'm not that normal, person takes to get the loot via traditional means. And by traditional means, I mean giving NPCs nice warm baths. By the way, I'm Zuzucorn and I aim to entertain you, encourage you, and offer you a place to call home. So feel free to subscribe now and join the Zuzucorn family. Let's begin. Of course, we have to start out with the OG, the first ever NPC we've ever met, the Guide. Hello, Kyle. This little bugger is nice and helpful. He literally guides you along the game by dropping hints on what to do next. He also has a nifty crafting guide function, where you can place any material into this little box here, and then he'll tell you what you can make of it. The guide's special loot is the green cap, which only drops from guides named Andrew. That's because Redigit's real name is Andrew. Fun, isn't it? It's a 100% drop rate from the guide Andrew, so this experiment is mostly seeing how long it takes for an Andrew to spawn. According to the Terraria wiki, there are 35 possible names for the guide. Assuming that each name has an equal chance of occurring every time a guide spawns, that works out to about 1 in 35 chance to get the green cap. And there are two fun ways to kill the guide. First, you could try to get a guide voodoo doll from the underworld. These drop from voodoo demons, and once you equip them, you can directly hurt him. Like so. Or you could either give him a nice warm bath and slowly watch him groan in pain as he disintegrates into nothingness. I like this method quite a lot. All NPCs can be conveniently killed through warm baths. For my own convenience, I'll just spawn in guides. So if you were to do this manually and wait for guides to spawn, it'll take probably a lot longer. So good luck with that. Let's start off with guide number 2. I know you won't give me anything, so you just die for my entertainment. Next up, guide number 3, Cody. I don't have anything against Codys, but you seem boring. Number 4, we have Asher the guide. We're getting a little closer to guide Andrew since Asher starts with A2, but unfortunately, you're not Andrew. So you deserve a slow, painful death for getting my hopes up. Poke, poke, poke. You too, Seth. You disappoint me. Guide number 6, we have Levi. Nice to meet you. It's a little warm in there, isn't it? A lot better than fighting titans, I'm sure. Then we have guide number 7, Jeffrey. His name Jeff. Then we have Harley, Joe Mama, Wyatt, Bradley, Seth again, Dylan, Asher again. How many does that make? 14 guides. I guess he's gonna turn into Ash. Harley, could you hurry it up? Jeff again. Colin, Levi. I'm just going to start stabbing repeats to send a message. Seth, go away. Oh, Steve, haven't seen you yet. Garrett too, nice to meet you. Okay, now die. Oh, Ryan, what an overly common name you have there. Okay, I'm getting impatient. Daniel, you die. Brian, you die. Seth, you die. That's 25 guides so far. Trent, Marty, Joe, Bradley, Zach. Okay, this is kind of taking a really long time. I think that's 30 already. Wyatt, Dylan, Kyle, Cole, Jeff, Garrett. 37 so far. Then that was Seth, Brett, Seth again, Scott, Cole, Daniel, Asher, Luke, Jake, Seth, Wyatt, Trent, Scott. That's 51. And finally we have Andrew on our 52nd guide. That was excruciatingly horrible. Well, that's RNG at its finest. But thank you, Andrew, for your green cap. Now, I'm the guide. First thing as a new guide, I made the most inaccurate Terraria guide on Earth. Only Terraria pros will know what's wrong with the video. It's a challenge, so go check it out. Our next friendly friend who drops something is our local Bob Ross. Killing the painter has a 10% chance of dropping the paintball gun. It's a nice little ranged weapon that fires off 3 paintballs per shot. It's pretty nice to use and feels somewhat impactful early on. I like this weapon. It's one of the better NPC drops, and all we need to do is murder the painter. Great deal, isn't it? NPC suffering plus free loot. Living the dream. Starting off our painter spree, we have Lorenzo. Your name has a very nice ring to it. As a reward, I'll let you enjoy your warm bath. Painter number 2, we have Carlo. Another nice Italianish name. Still nothing. Ah, Mario! You're my favorite. Don't you recognize me in the green cap? It's me, Luigi. Oh, brother, where did you go? Luciano, it's nice to see you. It's a nice bath filled with tomato sauce. Ah, thank you for the paintball. Thank you for the paintball gun. That took only 4 painters, above average for sure. It must be my affinity with Bob Ross. I guess that's a happy little accident. Next up, we have the local prick. This guy is really something else. He loves money and wood. Rich wood. He doesn't want any other types of wood, but rich wood. Anyway, he drops a surprisingly decent-ish melee weapon. Die traders have a 1 in 8 chance or 12.5% chance of dropping the exotic scimitar. It's pretty much just a classic sword. You swing it, things get hurt. Pretty basic. But what can you expect from a basic pretentious NPC? So let's begin the the spa treatments. Starting off into the warm jacuzzi, we have Hannibal. Yes, reminds you of home, doesn't it? Nice and warm, no? I guess not. Welcome, Bodash Tart. Even for exotic names, that's pretty exotic. Ah, Kanmi, it's you! The one I dislike the most. Yeah, get into the corner. Go. Number 4, we have Achirom. Number 5, we have Danen. Daniel without the eye. Also Daniel without the scimitar. Number 6 is Sikarbal. And we have Kanmi again. Listen here, you better give it to me or else I'll... Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, it's pretty standard. The exotic scimitar is kinda meh, but at least it swings pretty fast early on. I don't think it's worth to farm for, but if you're just enjoying your time killing die traders like I do, then I guess it's a nice bonus. Our next piece of loot is pretty much the most useless among all of them. But that's no surprise, coming from one of the most useless NPCs in the game, the Tavern Keep. Yeah, he has the whole Old One's Army kind of thing, but I never liked it that much. The useless bald man has a 12.5% chance of dropping the Ale Tosser, a weapon that does exactly what it says. It lets you throw ale. Let's see how many bald men it takes to get. You like ale, don't you, Mo? Have a swig of my special red brew. It's a little spicy though, I'm not sure if you like it. He liked it so much that he just evaporated. It was that good, huh? No matter, on to the next customer. Welcome, Elandrian, to my nice warm tavern. That's an interesting name you have there. Ah, Danny Moo, long time no see. The last time I saw you, you were a woman. Oh, thanks for that. Let's get throwing. As you can see, this is a pretty slow weapon and you actually need ale in your inventory for it to work. And throwing ale doesn't really do anything. It's probably the worst NPC weapon, like seriously. But hey, if you like throwing alcohol at things, like, I don't know, your friends, maybe this is the weapon for you. Next up on the torture list, we have everyone's favorite redhead, the Stylist. She drops the Stylist Scissors at a 12.5% chance, or 1 in 8. Hello Esmeralda, nice to see you again. Aren't you glad to be out of your spider house? Huh, I guess not. I just realized that I can summon web stylists too. They die faster, but unfortunately don't drop anything. Anyway, our next redhead is Hazel. Not a red sounding name, but nice nonetheless. And nothing. Then we have Flora for the stylist number 3. Nothing again. You disappoint me. We have Bree for number 4. Nothing again. You know, I think I need to have some sacrifices. I've got to send a message like this. May the Terraria gods accept my humble sacrifice of web stylists. I think it's easier to just bring in web stylists than free them. They'll die faster this way. Hopefully that worked. Number 5 we have Pearl. Nothing again. Pearl again. Nothing. Lola, Iris, Annabelle, Kylie again, Bia, Scarlet with 2 T's. How special. Malia, Bia again, Lola again. That makes 14 stylists so far. Number 15 we have Roxanne. She sounds like a lucky one. And there, what I tell ya. Now it's time to take a look at the stylish scissors. Well, that took more attempts to say than I'm willing to admit. But anyway, you think that these scissors are great for stabbing your enemies in the eye. After all, that's what scissors are instinctively great for, right? Unfortunately, we swing this pair of scissors. We swing it like this, hitting the enemy with the blunt side of the blade. Absolutely marvelous. Come on, apply blunt trauma to your enemies using some scissors. Next up, we have Chippy. Luckily for us, the clothier's red hat drops at a 100% rate. The red hat only drops from the clothier, by the way, and not the old man, if that wasn't obvious enough. So you have to beat Skeletron first. Like the guide, there are a couple of ways you can do this. Either you give him a nice warm bath, or you could equip the clothier voodoo doll and stab him to death. Do take note that stealing his hat at night resummons Skeletron, so just be prepared for that. Once Chippy goes poof, you can find his hat, which, as the tooltip helpfully points out, smells funny. But that's not enough to stop me from putting it on and cosplaying. Hello Terraria enthusiast! So unfortunately, the total number of clothiers you have to kill to get the red hat is a grand total of only 1. That's a loss for me. Next up, we have the other dungeon babe, the mechanic. This wonderful NPC drops one of the best drops you can get from NPCs, which is no surprise, since the mechanic is the best girl after all. Of course, that's next to the zoologist, the dryad, the party girl, the tax collector, the steampunk. Something seems off. I must have missed out the nurse. That must be it. Anyway, the mechanic also has the standard 1 in 8 chance of dropping the combat wrench. This is a pretty nifty boomerang because it flies pretty fast. As a result, it's quite responsive and easy to use. It's great for keeping enemies at bay while dishing out decent damage early on. One happy little goblin lover? Oh, I wanted to throw a few more goblin lovers in there. No matter then. This is something I actually recommend farming for, as it helps greatly in your early Terraria journey. Plus, it's great to abuse the guide with. Usually, he runs away when you hit him, but because the combat wrench hits him twice, he gets confused when he gets hit on the way back, and then he comes back for more pain. Isn't that just wonderful? Next we have the party girl who drops happy grenades. These drop fairly commonly. She has a 25% chance to drop stacks of 30 to 60 bombs. The bombs are pretty decent as well. All it took was one party girl to give me a stack. I'd recommend getting some of these as well if you want, because the explosions are of a decent size and deal decent damage. They're super good early on, but the issue is that you need a certain number of NPCs to move in first, before a party girl actually arrives, so by the time you get some of these, you can probably do better. Still pretty nice though. Nearing the end, we have the naughty boy, the tax collector. This spiteful old bugger drops the classy cane at a 1 in 8 chance. He's not really that classy, but I won't say no to free stuff. I especially enjoy throwing him in lava, because that is sure to give him PTSD from his time in the underworld. I've got to put on my cosplay to convince him to give me the final piece. 1 text collector, 2 text collector, 5 text collectors, 9 text collectors, 16 text collectors. There we go. It's a little unlucky this time. As for this weapon, it's just a standard swinging weapon. Nothing special about it, other than the satisfaction of beating up the guide. Go, get back into your cell, you dimwit. Git. For the last of our standard NPCs, we have the Steampunker. The Steampunker doesn't drop any weapons, but drops the Ivy, a musical instrument that you can play. This drops at a 100% chance from Steampunker's name Whitney, which is a reference to Redigit's wife, Senix. The wiki says that there are 20 possible Steampunker names, so assuming that all the names have equal chance of appearing, that's a 1 in 20 chance to get an Ivy. So let us begin. First up we have Verity, our classic Steampunker that we have seen in a few other videos. Unfortunately, you're not the one I'm looking for. Then we have Emmeline, Minerva, Phoebe, a relatively normal but very common name. Then we have Whitney already on the 5th try. This is great. Thank you for your service. The Ivy is fun to use. It plays a different note depending on how far your cursor is from your character. I'm sure you can figure out something and create your own cool jam. But what I like to do is to use it for torture. So first of all, stand next to your your audience of choice, then play the same chord, over and over again, at regular intervals. Throw in some slowdowns and gaps once in a while to provide temporary relief, then take that away by continuing the same regular pattern. Fun, isn't it? Emotional torture is great. You like that, Brandon? And lastly, we have the Resonant Scepter. This drops from the Princess, an NPC who only moves in when all other NPCs are present. That's a pretty tall order, and will probably happen only late into the game. That's the reason why she drops the best NPC weapon in the entire game. She drops the Resonant Scepter at a 1 in 8 chance, so let's start our experiment and see how it goes. Hello Alice, allow me to serenade you into dropping the Resonant Scepter. Oh, you didn't like that? On to the next one. Ah, Charlotte, a name fit for a princess. Maybe some energy towards the end would be better? I guess not. How about a full-fledged song for Lizelot? Alice again! Maybe just one strum will work. Nope. How about total silence for Teresa? Okay, this is pretty hard. Tiara is a nice princess name. Can I have the scepter? Flora, how about you? I feel like I saw that somewhere just now. Ah, Hikari! Hikari-san! Resonance scepter o kudasai. Dang it. Rosetta? You're lucky number 9. Dang it. Ah, Belle, my favorite pink-haired online personality. I'm sure you give me your scepter, right? Thanks, I knew I could count on you. Anyway, this weapon is insanely strong compared to the others. The Echo can go through walls and can one-shot the guide, so that's pretty nice. Goodbye, Brandon. You will not be missed. Strangely though, it stops on walls and doesn't just appear at your cursor. I guess that would be pretty OP. It's still really strong though, great for general use. It's just too bad that you get this really late into the game, so you can't really put it to that much use. So that's about it for this dumb experiment. I got really unlucky and had to go through more than 50 guides to get the green hat. This video was kind of a train wreck, but I hope it provided some form of entertainment nonetheless. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon too, for more Terraria and other stuff. Have a nice day, and have a great week ahead. Bye bye!